Hey, all my Facebook friends. Yes, I have these things on my ears. We're actually doing a Ask Alena where we're having all these wonderful questions that I'm going to be answering that people have sent in because they want to know more. Who doesn't want to learn more about themselves, you know? That's what we all do. So anyway, we're going to do a Facebook Live because I thought maybe you'd want to be a part of this and see what's going on too. All right, so get comfortable and let's start these questions.
All right, mics are going up. Can you hear yourself?
I can.
And you're going to roll, Alena. Ready?
Hey there, welcome to 30-Minute Moments. This is your host, Alena Chapman. And today we are actually starting a little bit different. Not all the time, this will be once in a while, but it's Ask Alena. And this is when you guys are all out there listening. And it's time that you ask some questions so that I can help you directly. That's important, you know, for your own personal growth. To start the show, the first thing I want to do is tell you about Savvy Sisterhood because we're coming on the holidays. Holidays are crazy. And I really want to tell you, Savvy Sisterhood was started online. It's a Facebook connection of group women. But when I wanted to start this, I remember it's because I saw that women, our major thing is that we doubt ourselves. Even when we're the smartest women on the planet, we doubt ourselves. And it hurts us in every part of our life. And then I was at my own seminar and I met this woman in the parking lot who was attending the seminar. And she said to me, "Oh my gosh, I love what you're doing because, you know, when I was going through my divorce, I just had all my relatives, my friends, and this fantastic community, and we were all just quilting and talking. It gave me strength, it helped me delve into myself, and I thought, community. And what better way for women to grow, to feel good about themselves, to find their voice, to feel the sharing, the love, the fun, through a group of community of women. And that's how I started Savvy Sisterhood. Now, just so you know, Savvy Sisterhood is online. You go to Join Savvy Sisterhood in the Facebook search bar and squish it all together, no spaces. JoinSavvySisterhood.com, and Savvy has 2 V's, okay? But also, if you do that and join online, you'll get notification because we are getting communities in communities, meaning here in Fort Wayne, once a month, you will meet physically with these awesome, wonderful, like-minded women. And in the UK, and in Canada, and New York, and in Michigan, these are the ones that we're starting to do. So you'll look and you'll see where yours is meeting, and you'll get to meet them in person and develop new friends and a strong community that you can grow. That's Savvy Sisterhood. All right, so now let's start our show today. I love this. So we had a bunch of callers call in because I've been on the show for a little while, this 30-Minute Moments, and now people are curious. And Kayla, my producer, who's so cool, she is going to read me the first question.
Well, Alena, these folks have submitted their questions on our text line, which if you're listening and you have a comment or a topic you'd like Alena to discuss, or if you do have a question, you can text into. It's really simple. Just text your question or comments to 46862. Try and put Alena in your comments so that we know you're talking to her because we share the text line.
I already forgot.
Put Alena. Put your name, Alena. You forgot your name already. Put Alena in your comments or your topics just so we know that you're talking to her because we share the text line with a couple of stations down the hallway. But the first question that came in, Alena, and I'm just going to read them verbatim as they came in. It says, how do we stop judging others?
Ha 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 ha. Isn't that a good question? How do we stop judging others? All right, when we judge, first of all, it comes with us understanding that if we are judging others, we are judging ourselves even harder. So that is the first key you have to know. Where does that judgment come from? Well, it comes from us being so hard on ourselves. All these rules and regulations we put on ourselves. And how dare they break those rules and regulations? And that's where judgment starts. So if you want to change this, well, you've got to do the work inside. And I'd say give yourself a break. You know, you really are that beautiful person inside, man or woman, it doesn't matter. You are beautiful. And the only one putting rules and regulations on you is you. So loosen up a little bit. Look at those. But if you're walking down the street and you see someone and you just are judging them like crazy, stop and think to yourself, reset button. Now, what is this reset button? I love reset buttons. Reset buttons mean I get to do it over, okay? I've always done things over. I don't ever feel like everything has to be solid gold. So like when I used to play golf, I'm a horrible golfer. I would say, do over, and what do you know? I got a perfect score. So the reset button is your chance to do things over. It's to stop the thought and say, is that really how I want to think? And then change your thought. So I'm walking down the street, I see this person, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing that. And then I stop, I say, bop, I push my reset button, and I think, is that really what I want to think? No, they're looking like they're having a good time. I wish I could do more of that. Okay, do you see how that reset button can help you in so many ways. It gives you a second chance. And it starts to question what you're thinking when you're walking down the street. But I also urge you to start looking inside. Maybe use that reset button inside. When you start putting rules on yourself, say, Bob, do I really want that rule? It's a wonderful tool.
To take it a step further, Alena, because we've had a couple of people mention this in previous episodes and just the effect of social media. And we're talking judgment right now. And the question was, how do we stop judging others? I think there's a lot of it that comes in through the social media sites.
Social media is a wonderful tool, and it's also not such a good tool because it's desensitized us. And we think we can say anything, and it's at a distance. Heck, we're breaking up with each other through a text. What is that? You know, it's very disconnected. But you've got to know, and that's why I love Savvy Sisterhood, and I love that we're coming into communities now. There are people on the other end of that social media. They're real people with hearts, with insecurities, with all sorts of things, and they're just trying to live life the best way they can. And when we come in with some of the very harsh things I've heard people say, or the coldness, you know, you've got to press your reset button. You've got to press it and say, listen, do I really need to be this terrible person? Maybe I should go dancing or something and get this energy out some other way. Play football, do something, run. Get this energy, because directing it all that at people in that harsh judgment, it's going to come back to bite you, because there are people on the other end. You're not disconnected.
So we're taking Alena's questions. This is Ask Alena on her 30-Minute Moments show here on WOWO. These questions have came straight from our text line, which you can do the same thing by texting 46862. Put Alena in your question or your comments so she knows that you're talking to her. The next one that came in, Alena, it says, and I'm reading them verbatim, Alena, I hate when I run out of gas. How do I keep my steam?
I like this question because I get it. I have, what do I say? My mojo takes a break from about 3 o'clock to 4:30 every day, no matter what I do. I used to try to feed it with caffeine. It didn't work. I got immune to the caffeine. So what do? Okay, we all have that time in the day when our body just wants to zone. And it's important, because if we do that, then we can move on with the day with more and more energy. But if we take the caffeine, the sugar, or whatever, you know, companies make a bundle off this time when we have our lull. We get a very high and then a low, even worse. I have chosen to do little mini meditations and just take a break. If I'm at work, then I'll go into the ladies' room and I will just close my eyes, deep breathe, and just reconnect and relax. Or I will take a walk outside if I can and sit under a tree and just get myself pulling in the energy of the universe. if I'm not working, then I know that time I can do my meditation, I can take a walk in the woods, I can just go out and do. And when I come back, I'm so refurbished. We have to honor our bodies. If our bodies are kind of like feeling kind of tired, there's a reason. And it's up to us to say, okay, I need to take a little bit of time and refurbish this. Now, there's two ways to read this question. Maybe you're just feeling tired in life. That is very common. All right, if you're feeling tired in life, then it's time for you to start activating that wonderful imagination of yours. If you're feeling tired in life, that means that you are either A, not living the life you want to live, or B, you feel a sense of you can't do it. And both of those are cause tiredness. Because I'll tell you what, if you love what you're doing, the energy, I don't even know where it comes from. It doesn't stop if you love what you're doing. And even when you're tired, it just surges through you because you just love what you're doing. So I'm going to ask you, would you just kind of sit under a tree, relax, have a cup of tea, and think to yourself, activate your imagination. Really play with it. Sit there and think crazy things. What if I was an astronaut? What would it be like? And I know this sounds very far-fetched, but try it anyway. Or I would really like to climb Mount Everest. What would that feel like? And maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't like it, whatever, but put yourself in different scenarios. And you know what you'll find? All of a sudden, things won't seem so insurmountable, and the real thing that you want to do starts coming through. It's a wonderful exercise. It's easy and it's fun. That's how I started writing. I just woke up one day and said, I want to start journaling. Who would have known? Who would have known it would become an international bestseller? You know? So those are my two solutions for that, depending on what is ailing them.
What's the name of that international bestseller?
Oh!
That's my own question.
I have two international bestsellers. Right now, the one that's out there is The Prison Effect. And that one, I love that book. Why? Because I love the way it's set up. I love that you can read about whatever. Everybody can read about the problem. But then I always insert exercises. I call it a time to focus, so that you can look and apply the stuff from that chapter into your life. And Kayla, I've always found that anybody who reads that book, number one, the book is so beat up by the time they're done because they're using it so much. And then at the end, they actually have done the work and they are in this world of moving forward into where they want to be, being who they want to be. They feel good about who they are. And that's just from reading the book. So I love my book. This is 30-Minute Moments, and we will be right back answering more of your questions. Oh, and Facebook. I get so much on the radio. I'm so sorry. I would love to hear your questions too, because this is the day we are really getting to the meat. You know, what is it that you need answers to? This is your chance. I'd love to talk to you more. So text. What's that number, Kayla?
They can text 46862, or you can go ahead and ask your questions right now on Facebook Live.
Yeah, you can ask it now. Yeah, either way. And I am here. And I'm only do this once in a blue moon, and I would love to help, and I would love, guys, you're my Facebook friends, all of you, and I would love to see you grow. So this is a good chance.
You've got a couple of folks waving at you saying hi. Christy Herr, Karen Chester.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this other person's name. Kumasine? I don't know. I don't know how to say
That's
that name.
okay. Welcome. I love it. I'll have to look afterwards so I can see who it is.
So we're saving Alena's first segment that she just did. She was taking questions from our text line. We've still got more for her.
This is a whole, do you know this is like a real radio station right here? This is the real thing.
There's your first segment right there.
Yeah. This is you're actually in the room with me recording. Cool. Shall I get back on?
Okay, you ready? We're going to segment 2.
Okay.
And again, feel free to submit your questions on Facebook. I can ask her right now live while she's doing her thing, and your question will also go on the air as well. It's kind of cool.
It is cool.
All right, you ready, Alena?
Yes. Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments. I'm Alena Chapman, your host, and today we are doing a wonderful Q&A. This is for you to learn and grow, and I love being able to apply these wonderful tools and concepts right to your life. So I love this show. What is another question that we have?
Well, a lot of texts that you've been receiving, which you can text to 46862, put Alena in your comments. You get a lot of them about your laughter. And one in particular says, Alena, I love your show. It seems like you have fun on Sundays. And I think these are important comments to bring up, to talk about the importance of having fun and just laughing and enjoying life.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny. I get a lot of that. People say that, you guys say it on Facebook too. Why do I laugh? Well, you know what? I can't think of a world without it. And the whole thing is, we take ourselves so freaking serious. We are so serious. We are so serious. I've got to make $1 million this year. I've got to do this. And we go into this tunnel vision and we are so serious. Okay. But you know what? It's the journey. We really are here for the journey. And the journey is fun. The journey of making this show is fun. The journey of meeting the awesome guests is fantastic and fun. The being able to talk to you and answer your questions, that is fun. The journey itself is fun, not just putting the show out there. That's easy. It's the journey, and it's the journey in the life of where you're going and what you learn, what you don't learn, what mistakes do you make but that you conquer. Yay for you. This is what we're about on this planet. That's why we're here. If everything was just, I hear in law of attraction a lot, just ask and it comes. Like it's a giant Santa Claus. No, you have to go through the journey. Why? And yes, you have faith in that. I do believe in the law of attraction. I'm not knocking that. I'm just knocking the fact that you think it's just going to land in your lap because you ask. If it was that easy, why would you even be here?
Now, this is a question that you get from a lot of your guests, so we're going to bring it on board here and allow your guests to ask questions too. Yeah. It's how do you impact the kids? Because a lot of times in this day and age, our kids are they're growing up in a different time.
Yeah.
How do you break through and make contact with your kids?
Get interested in what they're interested in. Ask questions. And plan things that are fun. My mom gave me some really good advice, and sometimes she does. And she said, kids always ask at the moment where you're just having fun and it's just there. You're just together. And all of a sudden they'll start asking questions. And it's usually not the most opportune time. But that's the time you need to communicate, when they start opening to you. And create that, car rides home in school, or I'm planning to take the boys, even though they're rebelling, on a bike ride to downtown. We're going to go on the bike path before winter hits. I want to get a really good bike ride. And questions will come up then, and talking. And then also asking them, instead of, you've got to delve into their mind in a way that's not invasive. I always ask my boys, well, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? What do you think about how your friend maybe their parents are telling them they can't be who they want to be? What do you think about that? And ask for their opinion. And before you know it, they start talking. And that's the first way to open up communication and break through. Believe it or not, kids handle social media 100 times more than we do. So they're not on it too much. We are. And so that's just justifying why you're not connected to your kid. Start asking questions. Start opening. Take an interest in what they're doing. And don't be judgmental to what they're doing. Because they're just trying to grow. And when you do that, then discussions come up that help them to deal with stress, deal with what's going on in life, deal with their future, deal with how they want to communicate with the opposite sex, it all starts to unfold. But you have to start asking questions in a non-invasive way.
Some other text that you got from our text line. You can join the conversation by texting your comments and questions and even topic ideas to 46862. Or if you're on Facebook, you can always submit your questions to Alena through Facebook. Right now, where you're doing Ask Alena. This is your opportunity to ask away. One of the questions on our text line, and it's just this simple, Alena. I'm reading them verbatim. Alena, how to find freedom? That's what it says. So I'm assuming they mean how do we find freedom?
Wow, a little question. It's the biggest thing in the world. That's what everybody wants. How to find freedom. I love that. All right. Freedom, true freedom is you, me, us. There are people who have fought terrible circumstances, lived at terrible times, who still had freedom. Gandhi was one. He never, when he was in that prison, he never ever felt like he decided, well, I can suffer in this prison or I can create my freedom within myself. Freedom comes from you and is you. And how do you get that? You start learning how to control your thoughts. You start not judging. And not just your thoughts out here, but the thoughts about you, yourself. And you start looking at the beauty of the world. And you start seeing the beauty of just every day in the people's faces and in the crowds and in the sky and in nature. You start opening your world to gratitude. And you start seeing that things are really good and the freedom will come to you. But you have to start controlling your thoughts. Contact me. That's what I help people do. I help them gain freedom in their life.
You mentioned gratitude. I know just because I've worked with you for a while now. You have an exercise for achieving this gratitude, I believe. Yeah. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Gratitude, yes. It's been so not done correctly. I really learned my gratitude from Bob Proctor, okay? He was my mentor for a long time. I've added something to it. Sorry, Bob. But I do follow what he says, too. You get a little pad of paper. Excuse me. I'm sorry. You get a little pad of paper, or I like a little booklet, and you put at the top each morning of a new piece of paper in your booklet, I am now happy and grateful now that. I am so happy and grateful now that. And then you list 10 things that you are really grateful for. You do this in the morning and you do it at night. When you do that, you feel what you're writing. Like if I say, I am so happy that my boys are healthy and vibrant, I see them living their lives. I see the fun we're having. Do you see? You have to feel it. And then at the end of that, you do this, you get very quiet. You sit, because you're already put yourself at a high vibration, and you say to Source, what do you have for me today? That's what I ask. You can ask whatever you want. And then you get very quiet, and you will get a message. You may get colors, you may get a word. I always get a word or a phrase, or during the day, something will happen, but you will always get an answer. And then, this is the kicker, I send love to 3 people or things, situations that are bothering me. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes that's very hard. Because if that person, you're really angry at them, but that part is very special because it can actually change what's going on. So I've got a little cheat sheet for that, all right? If you really are angry at this person, but you feel you have to forgive them because forgiveness is for you, not them. So you want to forgive them so you can feel free. So you look at them and you say, okay, I'm really mad. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to think about my beautiful red dog. I'm serious. I'm laughing, but I'm very serious. My beautiful red dog, as he licks my face, I'm so happy. And then I sneak in and say, okay, I'm surrounding you with loving light, you person who makes me very mad. Do you see? And then it gets easier and easier and easier. But that's how you have to do it, because sometimes emotions are hard. And then, we'll be right back too. This is 30-minute moments, folks. And I hope you're getting your questions answered, and I would love more. So send me the text. We will be right back. I think we have 2 more questions.
All right, let's save this one.
Okay. All right, guys. Boy, doing Facebook Live and the radio show can be a little confusing at times.
Yes.
But I hope you are getting your questions answered. And just so that you know, wonderful way to also is to start noticing 3 things during the day too that you find just beautiful or awesome or just you're very grateful for. And that continues it through the day.
You don't know that I'm going to do this to you. But
You don't know?
You don't know what I'm going to do to you for your next,
No.
to your last segment.
I have no idea.
Well, for our Facebookers, Alena always ends her show, 30-minute moments, with something that's called the shift. Your aha moment in life. We're going to ask you.
Do I get to sing the shift? The shift?
Sure. It's your show, Alena. It's your show. So let me reset this here.
Okay.
We just saved segment 2 because, like she said, we're doing the show while we're Facebook Living.
We are. I've never done this before. Folks.
They get to see the behind the scenes.
Something
And at the end, when I give you this signal, that's when I need you to talk about your website, where people can find you, contact you, maybe some of your socials, where they can get your show, all that kind of informative stuff.
Okay.
All right? So you ready? You rolling?
Yes. Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments. And I find this so funny, but this is my favorite part of the show. I'm going to do it too, just like all my guests. The shift, the shift, the shift. And we're going to talk about an aha moment for me that, well, got me doing what I'm doing. I'm always getting aha moments. It's whether you decide to act on it. I guess the biggest aha moment, gosh, I've had so many. I really think I'd love to bring up some newer ones. You know, everybody knows the one of why I wrote the book and all that stuff. But I think I would love to talk about perception. And I learned, you know, so many times we're thrown into realities that we don't, situations, circumstances. All of a sudden we're in a recession. What do? And we can give into that fear. But the time when I found that my reality could have gone into the very harshness of a world that wasn't trustful and the world that was just cruel to each other, cruel. And it was this campaign of bullying that went on with my family. That was an aha moment, because after I dipped down in that and I saw how awful the people were to each other, I decided I don't want to be there. So where does that leave me? If I'm not going to be with the people, you know, this reality they're pulling me down to, what do? Well, I create my own. And I know that sounds so funny and weird, but it's true, because everything starts inside of us. So I took control and I started to change the perception. I started to focus on my kids and making sure they were okay. I started making sure that other things in my life all lined up. I started really working on my spirituality and learning and growing more. And before you know it, I started to alter the other reality people were trying to pull me down to. It's amazing. They say that we can alter energy. Science says this. I believe it totally, because your perception and how you choose to perceive life, it does change. It changes what's going on. I know people who were going through a recession, and the ones who said, oh my gosh, we're in a recession, we're going to foreclose our businesses, all the sob stories. But then there's this one person says, we're going through a recession. What do people need? How can I help in this? They change their perception. They're not a victim, they're a victor. And I think that is the most powerful tool for anyone. Changing that perception. So that is my aha moment. And this is 30-minute moments. And so, see, I would like questions, because this is big. So if you ever have questions about this perception thing and you're going through some part in your life and you just can't seem to switch your perception, that's the question I want you to write, because I would love to help you on that. I'm Alena Chapman, and a good way to find me I'm telling you to ask questions. How do you find me? I am at alenachapmanlife.com. That's my website. You can look it over. I also have meetups here in Fort Wayne, but if you're far away, you can also look at Facebook. It's Alena Chapman. And if you are on Instagram, Alena Chapman, and you can watch all my videos on YouTube, Alena Chapman. I think you got that. That's Alena Chapman everywhere. So contact me and let's see what we can do for you. And this is 30-minute moments. I hope you have enjoyed this Q&A. And if you have questions throughout, we're going to try to do this once a month. So if you are interested in having your questions answered, I would love to talk about what's going on in your life, because that's what I do. That's why I'm here. So text in your questions, send in your questions to the radio station, and I will get them and we'll get you on this Q&A. Have a fabulous week. Start to look at your life. What are the things you want to change? What do you want to do? This is 30-Minute Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman. Have a fabulous week. Namaste.
There is
Bye,
segment
everyone.
3. All right.
All right.
Closing down shop.
As everybody, okay, I hope you have enjoyed this very special Facebook Live of my show, 30-Minute Moments. Guys, if you want to see we just did a show. I have to tell you this. We just did a show on sexuality and spirituality. That's cool. That's cool. So that is going to be on this Sunday, but guess what? You can watch it on iTunes, Auto Boom, all these, every other boomy.
Anywhere you can download a podcast, you can find Alena's 30-minute moments.
Podcast, you can find 30-minute moments and listen to that show, because that is a deep passion of mine, and I mean, I think it's something that is really cool to listen to and learn. So anyway, I thank you for partaking. Did we get all the questions off the Facebook Live? Oh, thank you. I hope you send more next time, because I love helping you. I'm Alena Chapman. You know how to get a hold of me. I'm right on your Facebook, and you can always visit my website, alenachapmanlife.com. All right, make it a fabulous week, folks. Namaste.